Paighton Corley, right?
Yes,
Yeah, and
correct.
you're the executive director of the Hill Country Humane Society.
Yes,
What
yes.
does that mean? Like, what do you do there? What is it?
Yes. So we are the servicing shelter for both Burnet and Llano County and 9 cities. So any animal that is picked up by law enforcement, found stray, comes to us.
It's
Yep.
this
Our service
huge
area
area.
is actually bigger than the state of Delaware.
That's incredible. Like, I knew it was huge because like the Burnet school district is like the third biggest school district or whatever. But
Hmm.
how many animals do you get brought in on like day or a week or?
Yeah, so last year in total we took in 1,600, so it's a little over 100 a month. So anywhere from 20 to 40 a week, kind of just depends.
What's like your capacity there? Like how many?
We have about 60 kennels,
You get
so
100 a week.
about 25 a week, like 100 a month.
Yeah,
So
100 a month.
yeah,
And you got 60
so
kennels. So
mhm.
how many like adoptions a month are you looking to hit?
We aim for 100, which
Yeah.
that's a little bit high.
Yeah.
But we normally average 70 or 80 a month. So
Really?
yeah, last year we had 900 and something.
Hmm.
So yeah, and we also work with rescue partners. Sent out about 450 last year.
What's a rescue partner? Is that like where the dogs at the shelter stay with someone for a
It's
while? And
so kind of the difference is like we're a shelter, like brick and mortar shelter, so we
yeah,
don't control our intakes.
yeah,
Whatever's brought to us, we have to take. Then there's rescues where they basically can accept what they want to take in or what they can take in. So
right.
it's most of them will only take in maybe a couple hundred a year, but whenever we get way over capacity, have somebody that they have an adopter waiting for, something like that, then they'll help. So
Okay, okay. Like a rescue. How's a rescue different than your humane society?
I mean, there's some rescues that are a little bit more of humane societies, but most of them don't have government contracts.
Okay.
So, like us, even if we have every kennel doubled up and law
Yeah.
enforcement picks up 5 more animals, we can't say no.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone that will be watching this is like, you have not talked about the dog
I
yet.
know. I know. She's like, what about
Yeah.
me?
When did this dog come to
She
you?
came in about a week and a half ago. She was found
Okay.
in Marble Falls, actually, not too
Okay.
far from here. So,
So now I would have to imagine that dogs like puppies like this, like they probably go pretty
yeah,
quick, right?
puppies do go quick. Puppies and small dogs. It's large adult dogs are the ones that are a little bit harder to move.
Yeah. And is that just like space requirements or people are scared of?
I think people are more hesitant about adopting a bigger dog, which it is a bigger commitment for space, resources, whatever it may be. But the
Yeah.
vast majority of our intake is large dogs, so that makes it a little bit harder.
Hmm.
What we've really learned helps moving those dogs is getting them out into the community in front of the public. So we got
Yeah.
our big adoption bus, so we'll load it up, bring it where people are at
Yeah.
markets, whatever. And a lot of times they'll meet the dog and they're like, "Wait, this dog's actually amazing." And I think it's a great option. Like me personally, as much as I love puppies, I don't think I'll ever adopt a puppy again.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you can adopt a fully trained adult dog, already know their whole temperament and everything. So
Absolutely. So I was really into like having puppies whenever we would adopt a dog. I'm like, oh, they bond with me better and everything. But then the training is
yep.
and they chew everything. They went,
Yep.
all of my furniture had to be replaced.
Hmm.
Tell me, I've seen your big bus, like the Blue Bonnet Festival and Christmas on the Square, things like
Hmm.
that. What's it called? Isn't it like MASH?
MASH.
It's
Yep.
MASH, right? What
Yep.
does that stand
Mobile
for?
adoption and surgical hospital. We also do spay and neuter on it.
How does their spay and neuter thing? Like,
So we are responsible for funding it, which we know it is just so important
yeah.
to get upstream, prevent these litters from happening in the first place. Because down the road, it's going to reduce intake. Definitely is a big commitment for us to fundraise for all of that, but it's worth it.
Do you take it somewhere and you're just like, we'll just be here so you don't have to drive a few more
Yeah,
miles?
yep,
Like,
pretty
which,
much. Because access to care is a big thing. Like, there's
yeah,
a lot of people who want to provide vet care for their pets that they simply can't afford it. They don't have means of transportation,
right.
and it's also just an educational thing too. Especially with communities that are like Spanish speaking, like they don't even have a word for spay and neuter. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a new concept to them, but us being able to come to them, show them what we're doing, it really helps. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Also with vaccines too. Like, I don't know if y'all heard about 2 summers ago, there was a massive distemper outbreak in our community.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if that was in the bulletin.
Yeah,
or
it
the
was.
Highlander. Or
It was pretty bad, and distemper is a very, very scary virus. It replicates rabies, or it gets neurological.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and there's no treatment for it, but it's something that can be prevented with a simple vaccine. So in the past 2 years, we've taken our bus all over, and we've administered over 15,000 free vaccines.
I mean, you're talking about all these things you do. Like, obviously, you have a website, all that. But when I see things about y'all, it might be in like the local paper, the Picayune, or any. Like, can you just call them up and be like, "Hey, I want something in the paper"? Do you have to pay? Like, what? How does it
we
work?
don't have to pay, but I do, like, every couple weeks I try to send something out to everybody just to spread awareness, whatever. Not everything gets picked up. Some does, some doesn't. Sometimes they'll just pull stuff from our Facebook page too, but I think a lot of them are learning that the vast majority of our community is animal lovers, so it's almost always a great story.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting here like, what's a Highlander? It's like $1 for it. I'm like, I'll pay $1.25, and you put a full page of just all the dogs at the Humane Society, so I can just see them.
Yeah,
and maybe like they have to wear funny hats or something. I think that would be great.
Yeah, it would be awesome. It would be awesome. It's just getting their faces out there. That's what gets people to fall in love. So
yeah, well, you've got all of these initiatives, your spay, your neuter, all these things. Like, what are like the biggest challenges that you run into? I mean, funding, obviously. Like, that's the whole thing.
Funding is number one.
Yeah.
Though we are contracted with the cities and counties, the money we get from them, it's like per intake.
Yeah.
So it's only about 30% of our budget.
Yeah.
So everything else falls on to me and the rest of the team fundraising. Fortunately, we have a super amazing community and great national partners that have been able to help us a lot. But we know to get ahead of the problem, like the spay and neuter vaccination clinics, it's very, very important. And then number two, what we were kind of discussing earlier is big dogs, finding homes for them. But that's why our bus has been great, because it's getting these great dogs in front of people. Because I think some people still have a little bit of a negative association with, a sheltered dog, like secondhand dog. But it's the reality is the vast majority of them are absolutely amazing dogs, and it's just getting them in front of people.
Dogs that are at a shelter, sometimes you can think like, oh, well, there must have been a problem, or this dog wouldn't be there.
Yep.
But why do they come when they're great dogs? Like, what happens?
I think the biggest reason we're seeing such an influx in shelters everywhere right now is just the economy. People can't afford it. I mean, a bag of good dog food is $100 nowadays.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm aware. Yeah.
And like, fortunately, we are a no-kill shelter. We work very, very hard for that, but there's a lot of shelters that aren't. Only about 30% of them in Texas are no-kill. So a lot of people, I think they have good intentions, thinking, oh, they can find something better for my pet, but the sad reality is a lot of times they can't.
I would say it's probably $80 to $100 a month.
Yep.
Like, would be a pretty bare budget, honestly.
Yeah, and that's
like
not even including vet care too, which kind of circles back to our MASH programming with spay and neuter and vaccines and all of that. Is if we can get it to people at a price they can afford, they're more likely to keep their dogs, and their dogs are happy and healthy. So
absolutely. Are there like competitors to these government contracts y'all have, or it's just like, thank God the Humane Society is here to even take this?
It's pretty much that. I know, I don't want to get too much into the numbers, but I know what we get from them comparatively to a lot of other surrounding counties. It's a lot less. Yeah. So it's kind of is what it is. Where at the end of the day, we're here to save the animals. Yeah. So that's all that matters. But my mission personally is getting everybody on the same page. Like, let's get ahead of the problem instead of being reactive, and that's focusing on spaying and neutering.
Well, it's one of the things I think y'all have been doing really well is like getting out information about what you are doing, because that's tied directly to the funding. I mean, this is Texas. People don't want more taxes. They don't want to do this. But if they know their money is going to something where something's really happening, then they're extremely generous, So I think that's been really good for y'all, especially that bus. Like, when you go to, like, say the Bluebonnet Festival, and you bring, how many dogs do you normally bring with you?
The past couple of times we've been having to do refills.
Really?
We have 14 kennels on there, but a lot of times we're calling them.
Like, I had a booth at one, and I'm like, can they go away? Like, because everyone's going over to this dog bus.
It's awesome.
I know.
It's awesome.
It's really good. So you do adoptions like there, right then. Okay.
Yep.
Is there like criteria? Like,
we have an application process, and we also have a foster to adopt program, which a lot of times at those events, it does get like crazy busy. And I personally always recommend foster to adopt, because that way it's in foster, it's not a full commitment, because we want the best fit for everybody, for the pet and the people. So, and all animals leave fully vetted, heartworm tested, fixed, vaccinated. So we're really setting them up for success.
I don't know if I could ever foster to adopt, because I would adopt every
and
time.
That's a little bit of it too. And
Right?
that's how we get a lot
Like,
of the dads talked into it. So it results in a lot of adoptions.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to get rid of the dog for now, we can do that. She's destroying you.
But she's fine unless she's...
She's the best. I just don't want her to distract forever. Oh my God. I always think I'm like going to go for a while without a dog, and then like I see her, I'm like, oh, you would fit in.
Yep. And that's exactly the point of our mass unit. That's exactly what we do.
I think what happened for us is like we started traveling like a fair, like, because my wife's family's out of state and everything, so we're traveling all the time, and it just became really hard to have an animal, which is tough for me because I've always had dogs.
Yeah.
You know? So, but you also do cats.
Yeah,
right?
I was about to say that. We also do cats.
Any difference to you between the dogs and the cats and how y'all handle them and the way the adoptions go? Like, do people not really adopt cats, or like what happens?
Honestly, our cat adoptions are a lot quicker than dog adoptions, because it's a lot easier. Like an adult cat, it's easier to take on. There is some difference in it though. Like kittens, there's something called single kitten syndrome, where if kittens grow up alone, they can grow up somewhat nuisance behaviors. So we have a BOGO thing, so it's like buy one kitten, get one free. Always encourage people, if they don't have another cat at home, consider two. And of course there's some cats that don't like being around other cats, but most of the time if you get them in a pair, it's
way better.
Yeah,
right? They're happier.
Yeah. And then in contrast, puppies, like we don't allow adoptions of two puppies from the same litter, because there's something called littermate syndrome, where they will grow up competing, and it happens a lot, and then they hit about a year or older, and then they'll start just competing over food, little things. It's very interesting.
Like that's a natural thing that they do.
Yeah,
it's just a survival of the fittest type thing.
I don't know. I think it's just that they grow up competing, so to say, from every little thing. So they grow up, and each other's boundaries aren't as respected.
How do you get to executive director of a humane society?
I was always involved with the shelter that I was at in Georgetown growing up. Worked there as a kennel tech, but then COVID happened, and I really, really tuned into the behavior side of things, which is behavior modification, dogs coming in shut down, like kind of turning them around. Like that really, really got me passionate. After that, I was like, I think I want to start my own rescue. I graduated college, this position opened. Frankly, I was like, there's no way I'll get it. Ended up interviewing, getting it, and here we are.
It's amazing how much that happens. That was one of the things I was going to ask. I was like, is being an executive director of a humane society hard to get? Because to me, it sounds like a very difficult job.
It's to be honest, at most places, and even here before me, it is a little bit of a revolving door, because it's hard. It's very hard, but I'm just so passionate about it, and the things that we've done in the past 3 years keeps me in it. Also, our team is just so incredible, so that makes it a lot easier.
There's definitely been a marked difference in it. I mean, even I can tell as just like a citizen, like there's so much more outreach. Y'all are in so many more areas. That MASH bus van thing, it's amazing. Like that's really cool that you got. Now, were you able to get that through like grants and things, or?
Yeah, a lot of just combined grants, fundraising. Our annual gala contributed to about 50% of the cost of that.
Wow. That's a successful gala.
Yeah.
What's your gala? What do y'all do?
It's once a year in April, and it's live auction, silent auction. I do a little presentation. Dr. McBride does a little presentation. Good dinner. Had Blue Corn Harvest last year. This year, not sure what we're doing. But.
And Dr. McBride's one of your board members, right?
Yep, he's the president of our board.
Wow. Who else is on your board?
It's him, David Bond, who's city manager of Burnet, Linda Rashke, she's commissioner for Llano, Jackie Haynes, also with Burnet County, and Russell Grader.
What's the next thing like you want to do?
So right now we're seeing about 9% of our animals go home. I want to find a way to increase that, and I think that goes hand in hand with our MASH and access to care.
Yeah.
It's expanding our resources that we can offer to people, whether it's vet care, food, resources, training, just helping them keep their pets. Because most people want to keep their pets, or I at least like to think, but they just don't think they can. So
Right,
what can we do to make it possible?
Okay. So is that a thing that people say, like, I'm really struggling with this pet for X, Y, and Z reason, and y'all help with that in some way?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
what's an example?
So we always do free vaccines, microchips we do for $10, which is at cost, which we
Yeah.
do a bunch of free clinics whenever we get grants and stuff. Food, we have a food pantry at our shelter, cat food, dog food, supplies, pretty much any way we can help, we try our best to.
Do any, like, the dog food or cat food companies, like, do they have things like where you get like sponsors, like, you know what I mean? I don't.
Somewhat. We work with Puppy Food Bank, which they supply the food for our shelter animals, which
Yeah.
is great because it's pure and one, great food. We can keep them all in the same thing.
Yeah.
So that way when we get other food donated, we can split it up into bags and give it to people who need it.
Okay.
And Petco gives us all the free vaccines, the DHPP,
Oh, really?
Distemper parvo, which is huge.
Your mash mobile what do y'all call it?
MASH.
The
MASH
mobile?
unit.
Yeah,
MASH
yeah,
unit.
the mash
Yep.
unit. Is there like, because you show up to all these events, is there an impediment? Like, you're like, I would love to bring this more places, but I can't? Is it just
If we had
staffing?
if we had more staff, we would have it out a lot more.
Your staffing, is there a lot of, like, full-time, part-time? Is it mostly volunteers?
There's
You know?
8 full-time staff, including me.
That's more than I would have thought. Actually.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. We definitely could use some more help. It's a lot of work up there because at any given time we have about 100 animals. So it's each day we have about 4 people there, and that's cleaning from 7 a.m. until 12 or 1. After that, hitting on the adoptions, outreach, whatever it may be. So
Is there, like, does anyone, like, are the animals alone at night? Or
they are.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I bet you're just, like, dying to go in the morning, like, make sure they're okay.
Yeah, it's hard. It used to keep me up at night. Now I've frankly gotten a little bit used to it, but it's heartbreaking for sure.
Yeah, it's hard. What's your day like? Like, when do you start work? Give me a day in the life.
Yeah, so staff is there 7 to 6. They get there at 7, immediately pass out meds for if they have minimal, like URI, which is kennel cough or whatever, anxiety meds, whatever it is, pass that out, feed them, and then immediately get to cleaning. We are a little bit different than what a lot of shelters do because each one of our dogs also has a dedicated outside yard, which it's not huge. It's not much bigger than maybe twice the size as their regular kennel, but it's at least a change of scenery.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shelters, they're just in their kennel all day.
Yeah.
And there's something called Kennel Psychosis, which is very real.
Yeah.
Perfectly great, behaviorally sound dogs, they will break because they're just stuck in this kennel.
It's
Like
like
who
prison.
won it?
Like,
Yeah.
that happens to humans.
Yeah,
Like,
who won it? Just being stuck in that box. So that definitely really helps that we can get everybody out for a few hours. Staff is so busy though that the dogs don't get a ton of one-on-one time, but that's a volunteer task. So that's what we always need volunteers for. We're building a trail at our shelter right now too. So I think that will really help.
But say, like, I was like, I want to volunteer there. What are the different things, like, is there age qualifications? Like, you have to be over 18, or you have to be with a parent if you're this young, or, I might be able to come out for 2 hours a week on a Saturday and clean some is there parameters, or the things you already have there? Or is it just like,
so per our insurance, have to be 17 or older unless you have an adult. Then we'll let any kids come. They just have to be with an adult. But our volunteer program is so flexible. Staff is there every day, 7 to 6, so they can come and go as they please. We don't really have any volunteers that are too into the cleaning, which is totally fine because that's truly what we need is people spending one-on-one time with the animals. But we have something for everyone, playing with cats, playing with puppies, helping answering phones, pictures. Like the list goes on and on and on.
like, because in my head, I was thinking about it because, we've always had dogs, and my daughter being 7, she loves animals, but I'm like, we really can't just from travel and stuff. Like I like
Yep.
to be a responsible pet owner.
Yeah.
How can I then get her around dogs? Yeah.
We also have a doggy day out program, which is a lot of fun. It's basically like doggy field trip. Same as our volunteer program. You can come there, pick up a dog, and then take it on a hike, Starbucks, whatever. Win-win. Because a lot of times those dogs end up finding adopters when they're out. They get
Yeah.
a break. We learn more about the dog, and it's a lot of fun. So.
You have some really good like state parks right there. That
Yes,
would be
yeah,
easy
we're close to a lot of them, so it's great.
Yeah, and is it like if you want to take like because you're close to like Black Rock Park, you could take a dog there and they'd be like allowed to swim and stuff.
Yep, just not in the summer because blue algae, but other times.
Yeah. Blue algae. What's blue algae?
It's this very, very bad algae that grows in the lakes when it's really hot outside, and it can kill a dog in 5 or 6 hours. So, yeah, it's not quite as prevalent out here yet, but there has been a couple cases in Austin, like Ladybird Lake. They've had dozens and dozens, so over precautious about it, but
What's a great success story that you feel like you were a big part of?
So the one that comes first to my mind is Chansey. Story all started when we were at a vaccination clinic. An individual was making some very harsh jokes about what he did to his puppies. I don't know how explicit I can get on here, but after that, recorded it, reported it all to the sheriff's department. They ended up doing an investigation. Part of what he was saying is that the puppies had distemper. How he was treating it was by putting hydrogen peroxide in their eyeballs.
Okay.
So,
common distemper treatment. No.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So this guy was probably mentally ill too. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And on something.
We
for
needed
sure.
a lot of agencies involved in this one. But yeah, so.
Yeah.
And you were able to, like, they took his animals.
Yeah, so they ended up filing for a seizure, taking not only that group of puppies, but all the animals on the property. Chansey, the puppy in particular, he had so much hydrogen peroxide put in his eyes that he was permanently blind, or is, I should say.
Yeah.
Pretty much chemical burns, created ulcers across his eyeballs. But fortunately, with treatment, he's not in pain. So, like I said, blind forever, but we found an amazing home for him that actually had experience with a blind dog. So he's living his best life now, which is still a puppy, but fitting in great. I'm just really glad we were able to get in there when we did before it got worse. So,
what do you have, like, if you have a blind dog, like, what differences do you need to do, like, as a pet owner?
The biggest part is establishing a routine, because blind dogs are really smart. They end up using a lot of their other senses, and especially with him being a puppy, that was our goal. Find him a home that can give him a stable routine so we can grow up with it and be happy. And he is, like, he's so happy, he has no idea.
I'm just thinking my wife might like a blind dog. She's like a bleeding heart dog person, which God love her for that. It's one of the best things. And she adopted a dog that was named Twinkie and passed away a few years ago. But awesome dog, hated me. But I remember her mom told me a story that she had adopted Twinkie and she got a call that night and she was like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "What do I do? Like, it's sitting in here and I'm taking a shower and should I just shut the door?" And her mom was like, "What are you doing? It's fine." So a blind dog might be good for her.
Yeah.
But someday. Okay. And how many volunteers, like, do you have, like, ones that are just regular volunteers and then like how does
We have over 50 that are kind of rotating. We have different volunteers for different things, like some that help with off-site adoption events, some that help with on-site stuff, some that go to the shelter, help walk dogs. We have just a lot of opportunities for a lot of people. So really anybody and everybody can get involved.
Or do you already have people that help with your electrical and help with, like, drywall and stuff?
A lot of our maintenance that's done at the shelter is done by David Vaughn, the city manager, and he's already, like, so busy, and there's a lot more things that probably could be addressed if we had more hands. So
how good is David Vaughn?
He's amazing.
I would think he would
really
be.
Is. He's building our new kennel building. The work that him and Dennis Langley did saved us probably $60,000 because they were up there literally at 10 o'clock at night doing it.
And Dennis Langley, is that like Langley Homes?
Yeah, it's his brother, I think.
His brother,
Ricky's brother.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. Is there anything that you're, like, hurting for outside of just, like, if people wanted to like donate, I know there's a million different things that people do, whether it's like monthly contributions, this, that, and the other. Like, how would that work?
We have a Hill Country Heroes program. The monthly donations are really huge for us because then we can kind of plan.
You can budget,
even if it's like $5-10 a month, like that's huge for us. Like we're talking about like if we can get like couple hundred people doing 5-10 a month, like that'd be so huge for us, especially with planning spay and neuter because it is expensive. We've had to save every animal.
Sometimes people like think that small amount doesn't matter. It's like, but you're part of this huge community. If you get 1,000 people giving $5 a month, you have $5,000.
Yeah, that would be huge.
It's massive.
That would be like 4 more spay and neuter clinics a month if we could do that. And I think another important key point to that is, yes, we are Hill Country Humane Society, but we are not affiliated with Humane Society whatsoever. Humane Society actually isn't even a thing anymore. They changed their name to Humane World for Animals, but we are private, so we're not getting external funding or anything like that from them. So when you donate local. To us, it stays here and it's local.
About rebranding?
So, I want
Taking
to bad,
humane out of it,
but we already put this logo on the MASH unit, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Got to change a logo.
Yep.
I hear you. Okay. So. Your Hill Country here, is that all on your website, I imagine?
Yep, all on our website.
Who does all these things? Like, you're running a very large business in a way, even though it's not business. I don't want to talk about it that way. I saw your eyes kind of like darken a little bit. I know it's not a business, but to some extent, like, you'll have like accountants and things. It's all you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So also looking for volunteers to help with that kind of outreach too. That would be a huge help for me.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I found the most, especially when I'm talking to other people in the trades and things, like things that I can find to do. A lot of times, like I love giving plumbing to people.
Yeah.
Because the amount of value I can give is disproportionate from what it actually costs me, which sounds like cold-hearted capitalism in a way, but it's not, really and so I think there are a lot of people out here, whether it's, carpenters and electricians and all these people and bookkeepers and all that. Sometimes they're just like, what could I do? And it's like the thing that you do for a living. Yeah. It's super valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you would be amazed at how happy people would be if you would just, do that.
Yeah.
Do you get like, it sounds like your board members just kind of cover most of the stuff that you need.
Yeah, it's a lot of fundraising. About 50% of our budget is fundraising. So donating to our gala, so for silent or live auction, like that also has a huge impact because a lot of times people will donate a little more than that legitimate value because it's a donation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and also we're 501c3, so we can write off any of these donations. Like normally goes a little over value. We have a great turnout at it.
Yeah.
So last year, 400 people. Burnet YMCA.
Of course,
because it's the only venue that can fit over 350 people out here right now, other than Horseshoe Bay, but we can't quite afford that right now.
Is it catered?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, who caters it?
Yeah. Last year we did Blue Corn Harvest. Nice. We're considering some other things this year, but we had such great reviews after Blue Corn Harvest. I don't know. We might do that again. Stay tuned. It'll be a Facebook post very soon.
Yeah. When does it happen?
April 25th this year.
If you want to be in the foster program, like what are the requirements? Like what happens with that? Do you get help with the food? Like what all goes?
Yeah, so our foster program is incredibly flexible. There's no time limit on it, even if it's a night or even a couple hours a week, whatever. It's still break from the shelter, frees up time for staff, opens up a kennel, and we provide all supplies. Food, crate, kennel, medical, whatever you need, we cover all of it. So it's huge because it gives dog decompression time from the shelter. Also, we learn more about them, and pictures of dogs in foster homes goes a long way. I think people see a picture of a dog like in a home instead of a sad kennel. And
I absolutely had that. So the first dog that I actually adopted as an adult, I had been looking for a long time, and there was this dog. I hate to say it, she looked like a drowned rat, which is crazy because what she actually was like a golden retriever shepherd mix, which was the most gorgeous thing. And they updated her photo, and I saw it, and I immediately called them, and they're like, we updated that photo an hour ago and we've gotten 30 calls. And I'm
It's pictures go long ways, and that's volunteers too. Like that's a huge thing. Them taking pictures.
Now,
of
isn't
that.
all of this just kind of a ruse to get dogs into people's houses and they fall in love with them?
Absolutely,
And then,
but it's a win-win. It's a win for the people too. So
Yeah. Okay, for sure. What are the costs associated with adopting a dog?
It depends. Our regular adoption fees are $125, but that does come with them fully vetted. Like on the spay and neuter, we spend about $100, and then on all the other medical, $100 to $200. So we actually lose money on most of the adoption fees, but we do have a lot of great organizations that will like sponsor adoption fees so we can reduce them. But
I've seen y'all do that every once in a while. You'll announce like, hey, like adoption fees are, whatever, $15 right now because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, Bissell Foundation, about 4 times a year, they will sponsor adoption fees for a week or two. It's like Bissell the vacuum.
Like the vacuum. Okay, that's what I thought it was going to be, but I didn't want to sound like an idiot.
And they're amazing. They also have a program. It's called Fix the Future. On the days that we fix over 40 animals, they will pay part of our vet's cost. So
I had no idea Bissell vacuum.
Yeah, and they're the best vacuums ever. So get a Bissell if you need a vacuum.
Yeah, if you need a
They're
vacuum,
amazing.
get a Bissell.
They really are.
It's hilarious. I mean, your advertising, is it almost always like free, or do you have a budget? Like,
I try to do most stuff that there's not a cost to it. But I do a lot of like, do what?
Do you do your website?
Yeah, I did it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is it like Squarespace? Like, you actually know how to make websites?
Yeah, I actually had never done it before, but I just started from scratch on Wix, and
I feel like
now I know it pretty
no
well.
matter what the number is, but that's okay. You do it for the love. So you do all of that. Mm-hmm. And you make your graphics for the newspapers and all that.
Yep, Canva's my best friend. So.
Yeah, Canva. Yeah, that's what all the teachers
And it's free for nonprofits. So
really?
That's great, yeah.
Okay. You're smart with this. Like, you know where to, like, is a lot of your time writing grants and things like that?
Yeah, a lot of it is grant writing, fundraising, stuff like that.
Is that a skill on its own, kind of, writing grants? I've heard that.
Yeah, but it's something that, like, I'm so proud and passionate about what we do that it is pretty easy to elaborate on. Of course, like, grammar checking, going back through, that's a whole other thing on its own. But, like, we do a lot, and we've came a long way, so it's pretty easy to yap about it sometimes.
What's kind of, like, what are, like, the big transitions that have happened since you've started there?
Well, before I started, we weren't a no-kill shelter. So I think that kind of has just had a ripple effect.
Important?
It's about the culture. It's like I know I personally would have an incredibly hard time working at a shelter that has to euthanize for space. And like, this is not like dissing shelters that aren't no-kill in any way, because I know that it's apples to oranges. Some might not have the resources, but it's...
Right. That's what I was wondering. Is that the main part, is it's resources, and it's like we just can't spend more money? So.
I think so. For me, a lot of it was finding the right team that is willing to sacrifice for the animals.
Right.
Like at first when we get over full, instead of saying like, okay, who's it time for? We'd say, let's load up the van and go to Starbucks, find them homes. And it's also just being creative, finding new ways to market the animals. And I think that has really got buy-in from a lot of the team, which keeps them passionate and
easier to get volunteers.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Just a better vibe.
Absolutely. And donations too, which it's like even how you kill shelters, like they need support too, like to get out of it, which not saying some of them aren't in that place because of bad leadership. Like I'm sure across the nation, there's absolutely some, but
and I get it, because it's like, if I'm donating, I'm like, am I donating to someone killing an animal? Even though it is like, I get it, the situations that it's not, but it's like, can we try to make it?
Exactly. And it's like if you haven't tried everything, like, I don't know. I'll try everything before we ever get in that position.
It wasn't a no-kill before, and it was raise money well? Like, what do you think?
It started with, like, not really money, but just moving animals. And social media has been huge, promoting it, finding new people. Adoption events have also been huge. Even before we had our mobile unit, we'd load up the van, go, get them out. Because we're very, like, we're central to Llano, between Horseshoe Bay, Bertram, but our town is super small, and like that's a long drive from Bertram or Horseshoe Bay. So a lot of people just didn't know that we've been the servicing shelter since 1989. So getting the word out, and also, I think a big part is it's not just a no-kill shelter, it's a no-kill community. So it's a community working together, and it's also getting ahead of the problem. What can we do to prevent animals from coming in the first place?
That's such a feel-good story. I love when you keep saying community, because I'm like, yeah, that's me, right?
It is.
You know,
It
even though I
truly
did
is.
nothing. Like,
I mean,
I'm so
it
glad,
really is.
you
Like,
know?
it's the littlest things. Like, one share of a dog's profile. Like, if it gets
Yeah.
them a home, that's a kennel.
Yeah.
So,
What are like some hot spots that you like to take? Like you said, oh, well, let's go to Starbucks. Like,
yeah,
what are,
surprisingly, Starbucks always that's really great for us.
know
A
how
lot of
that's not
coffee shops,
surprising. Come
Starbucks.
on now.
I know it's people who have a little bit of free time and a little bit of expendable funds.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
that works. Also, farmers markets always do really great. Like Main Street Market Days in Marble Falls, Burnet Market, like those ones always do great. What I always tell my team when we're looking for events is look for ones that have kids or alcohol. Then maybe we'll have some more luck.
kids or alcohol.
Yes, those
That's
help.
hilarious.
It really helps. Which
Yeah.
obviously the kid can't adopt the dog, but they can put it where it in mom's ear, and
they
that
can
that
absolutely
helps.
influence the. You do get a lot back.
Yeah,
just in
and
that.
also the mental health side of it too. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who don't live with a family or whatever. That's a companion, and a dog. It keeps you more active. You got to take care of them, walk, whatever
Yeah.
it is. It's very beneficial.
Yeah, that was my thing. I had a couple of heart surgeries in my life, which I'm fine supposedly every time. But I was like, I'm gonna go on walks with my dog. And fortunately, what happened was I was so brokenhearted when my dog kept eating rocks and eventually passed away. Like, we saved her once. That was like $7,000. And then the next time, even the vet was like, listen, like, I think you have to let, and it was terrible. And now I can't go on my walking route anymore because I just can't handle it. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is where Cheddar would run over there. That was my
Well,
dog.
you can do
That was
it
my
with the
second
new
dog.
dog. Save
Yeah,
your
I
life.
think the foster
So.
thing's really, really cool because it's like, okay, like we've got this weekend, we're not going anywhere.
Yep.
Like, let's pick up a dog on Friday and like have a great weekend.
Yep.
Like that's really.
And it's great for people that are like kind of on the line, especially if they're
Yeah.
considering adopting like a larger big dog, which obviously is a bigger commitment. But like
Yeah.
we want the best fit for the dog and the family. Like there's a big dog that might be too much for this family, but the perfect match for another. So that's why foster's great because there's no commitment.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't work out, it's a break from the shelter.
Do you see a lot of like seniors and like it's really big for them, right? To
Yep.
have a cat or a dog
Yep.
or something like in like Europe and stuff, they'll bring like cats into prisons. And it's like if you have good behavior,
Yes.
you can have a cat.
Yes.
Like, is there anything like that, whether it's like for nursing homes or is there anything like that exists around here?
We've kind of done like some little things. We'll bring puppies to nursing homes or to
Yeah.
schools, stuff like that. But that's actually one of the projects that's been on my mind. One thing I would really, really, really love to grow is some kind of dog training program with inmates. I
Okay.
think that would be awesome because we are very big on positive reinforcement, teaching the dog rather than
Yeah.
aversive, which is a little bit scaring them into it. And that's a win-win
So
for
like having
inmates.
like inmates train the dogs and
Yep.
giving them this thing
Yep.
and they're looking forward to it
Yeah,
and
like
all that.
maybe a dog that's like so jumpy, so it's not getting adoptable. Go
Do you think
spend
that's
time
like a
with the inmate.
possible thing?
I think so. There's been
Yeah.
other shelters that have done it across the country.
Yeah. How likely do you think that is to like?
I
happen?
I think it'll happen eventually.
You seem
Just
very
got to keep
optimistic,
pushing it.
which I
Normally, if I
think-
get my head on something, I can
Yeah, you
eventually
gotta
make it happen. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. That's what you need to be in your position. Like,
our team goes through a lot. They get very attached to the dog. So when
Yeah.
we do have to put one down for extensive medical, whatever it may be, like it's very hard on them.
Yeah.
And it's hard seeing dogs that come in, they've been through severe abuse and neglect. Like it's hard, but just gotta focus on the positives
like what's
and
the
remind
big like? If
ourselves.
you were like, I really appreciate the people that do the work. Like, would you like? Could you send barbecue over for lunch? And you're like, here you go, guys. Like, I appreciate it. Like, what jazzes up the team?
Definitely food
Yeah.
always really, really helps.
Yeah.
And that's something too, like there's a couple businesses that will donate like tea or cookies or lunch, and that like
Yeah.
that means the world to our team because
Yeah.
they're like, wow, like somebody's noticing us, like
Yeah.
that's amazing. But that's like whenever we have a really hard day, lunch, it's always the go-to.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
always like our team's close, we're like a family, so
Yeah.
just spending time together is also huge. But
Do you get like a lot of turnover, or is it like these are like
Honestly, I'm really proud of how low our turnover is.
Yeah.
I know a lot of shelters, the turnover is really, really high.
Yeah.
Ours is low, but I think part of it is every one of our staff does a little bit of everything. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of shelters where they're a little bit isolated in one thing, and it's like a lot of shelters, like ginormous ones, kind of is what it has to be. But like, I'd rather have a smaller team that's really great at what they do, really passionate about everything, and it keeps them in it, keeps them driven. And also, every one of them has a voice, which I think is huge. I know when I was a kennel tech at other shelters and I had concerns, whatever, it's kind of shut down, like kind of sucked. But here, like, we have such a great team that their input absolutely does matter.
Yeah. Is this like a home for you? Like, is this, like, do you feel like, you know?
I've always said if it got too easy, I'll find something else. But I anticipate there's going to be more and more animals in need, more and more projects to do. So my
kind of the way
goal
we are.
one day is to have a low-cost clinic on site, like low-cost vet clinic. So hopefully one day that'll be the next hurdle, not just the homeless pets, but
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're mirroring a lot of things. Like my brother and I, you know, in running our business, anytime that like we start to feel like, you know, I could probably take a week off, and this is not like we think of something to like mess that up for some reason. Like it's like a sickness.
Yep.
You know,
always,
right?
it always happens.
Yeah, because there needs to be another thing, you know? So
The first vacation I took this year was 4th of July. So had to end that one early.
and when you
come
say that,
back.
like, do you mean like the day of 4th of July? Like you
I
took
was
off?
out of town. I was supposed to be gone
Like, you
the
didn't take a
2nd through the
week.
6th, but I ended up taking the 2nd through the 4th. Or
Yeah.
I guess I came back the morning of the 5th, but
Oh my gosh. Well, and it's got to be really hard too. Like you should take vacations. It's good.
yeah, and it's
But also
compassion
you're like,
fatigue is huge.
I'm
and
failing. What if
yes.
a dog that like,
Yes.
you know, if I was there, this dog would get adopted now. And like, you
It's
feel
hard.
that way, right?
It's hard, but compassion fatigue is real. I push
Yeah.
it so big on the team, so I got to set the example or
Yeah,
try my
absolutely.
best to.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
at least tell them I'm not working, but at home on my laptop
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, I do that too. Although they immediately, anytime that I'm like, I'll be at home, you can call me, I'll still be at work. And they're like, that's not working. Okay. And then I feel guilty. I'm like, I'm trying to take time off without feeling this extreme guilt. You know, it happens all the
it's hard.
time. You know, what do you do for fun?
Work out, spend
Yeah.
time with my animals, think
Yeah.
about work. A lot of my work is fun though. Like adoption events are a lot of fun. Like it's
Yeah,
very
that's
rewarding
true.
to go to the markets and get them adopted, but
Yeah.
I like to golf.
You golf.
That's
Where do you
try
go?
to.
What's your place?
Normally Legends.
Legends, yeah. The Kingsland course, right? Yeah. Absolutely. What's your, you got like a handicap or you just...
Not gonna disclose that.
Yeah,
Not that
you don't
good,
wanna
but
talk about it, yeah. Yeah, okay. Do you like, you have like a strong friend group? Do you, like, what do you...
sort of kind of. I have a lot of friends out in Georgetown, because that was where I grew up. A lot of my closest friends are people involved with the shelter out here.
yeah.
So that's one thing when we hang out, we got to like kind of make an effort. Like, okay, if there's not something immediate, let's try to separate from
Yeah.
it just a little bit, especially if it's like something super taxing and sad going on. But
Do y'all do like team building event type things, or is it like, what do you do?
yeah, Christmas party, we went to Putters and Gutters.
Nice. Yeah.
Stuff like that, going out to eat is normally everybody's preferred thing. I think
Yeah.
a lot of time people just want to hang out and eat and
Yeah,
chat.
and eat
so
with-
it's
and just-
food's like our thing.
Yeah,
So
turn off your brain. Then,
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. You have a Christmas party. Wow, that's cool. What are the most adoptions you've done, whether it's a day or a week or something? Do y'all have like this is what we hit one time? Like, do
So,
you have a record?
yeah, our biggest weekend was Burnet Bluebonnet Festival last year. We had 32 adoptions, and I guess it was 2.5 days. But
Wow.
yeah, that was huge for us because
That's
we
crazy.
had prior, like we had months where we had 30 adoptions. So to have that in 3 days
So
was
does that happen, and then you like come back to the shelter, and you're like, this place is barely even.
unfortunately have not been able to empty the shelter, so to say,
Yeah.
yet, but
Is that
we're
like a
hoping
goal
one day.
in the shelter
Yeah,
community?
there's
It's
a
like,
lot of shelters like up north that are
Yeah.
able to do that and like post like empty shelter.
Yeah.
That'd be so amazing. But
What's the closest you've gotten?
I mean, I think our lowest was probably 40 dogs at a time.
It's the
so-
lowest?
Yeah, because there's the straight hold, so animals
Yeah.
come in, they're held for 72 plus hours before they can
Yeah.
even leave, and that's 5 to 10 a
I
day.
mean, at some point,
so.
do you have to expand facilities?
Which we did. That was
Yeah,
this
you've
new
done that.
building
Yeah.
that I was talking about a little bit. We added
Yeah.
20 runs, so that's
Yeah.
been very helpful. But
Yeah.
we still need more for sure.
Need more.
So.
And is that mostly donations or grants or
Donations and grants.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have been
Yeah.
here since 1989, servicing shelter for Burnet and Llano County, all the
Yeah.
cities within. So
Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's all we got to do.
awesome.
I appreciate it.